all about mindfulness. Once you can open your mind up and not keep it closed in a box and say, why does this always happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? Once you can open your mind and say, what is this trying to teach me? Boom, you just opened so many doors for yourself. Universe, source, spirit, whatever you believe in, is trying to pull you apart and trying to get you to grow past that, because you don't fit in that box anymore. But sometimes we can get so caught up in the storm that we're only focused on those first 4 letters, which is mess, and we're not seeing that the mess is actually a message. The mess is actually a message. Hi friends, welcome back to another video. It's Jewel here. Thank you guys for tuning into this video, because number one, you do not have to do that. You have free will and you decided to click on my video, and I just want to say thank you so much for that, because you guys are the best and I truly appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And honestly, I'm gonna just get right into the video because I don't really have too much to say. Like, you know how I always do like the brief talks and everything. I just feel like this video is a little bit more important. It's a little bit more serious, but not like too serious. And right now in this earth, it's kind of like we're kind of in a time where everybody is either trying to find themselves or just so deeply rooted in the physical false reality that has been portrayed to us since children, that everybody seems to be in a whirlwind, just being blown around by what's happening. That's why I don't watch the news and I don't care for the news, because they try to make you think outside of yourself. They try, like, no, war is not good, killing is not good, but at the end of the day, you can get blown around just by how much craziness that's going on in the world. And what I want to ask you to do, number one, is go within and really just create your own reality. Obviously, don't be like blind to what's going on, you know what I mean? But I personally had to get over my fear of missing out, aka FOMO, because that was holding me back. That was keeping me happy. That was keeping me stuck. The fact that I was like, I'm gonna miss out on the trends, I'm gonna miss out on the new styles and this, that, and the TikTok, and I don't care. I want you to know that whether you're being blown around by a storm or whether there's a lot just seemingly happening in your personal life, I want you to know it's not in vain, hon. It's really not in vain. And what that means is that everything that you're going through right now, whether it's completely turbulent, it's shaking you up, it's giving you a wild ride, it's giving you a run for your money, it's not in vain. And that means that it's not happening just because. At the end of all of that, you're going to receive a huge blessing. And I know everybody pretty much throws the word blessing around. Like, when people say a huge blessing, they try and make it seem like, oh, you're gonna receive something physical like money or a new car or da-da-da. No, a blessing can be knowledge. I'm very experienced, and so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, you don't learn these lessons just by living your daily life. You have to make mistakes. The turbulent times granted me the most valuable. I keep spitting all in this video. I think I need some water. Y'all like my mug? But the most turbulent times of my life have granted me the most valuable lessons I could ever learn in my life. Forgiveness, how to let go, how to love myself unconditionally, how to not really care about what anybody has to say or think about me, because it's like damned if I do, damned if I don't, you know what I mean? Like, some people, you'll be doing something, there are gonna be people who like what you do, there are gonna be people who hate what you do. And if you do the things that the people who hate what you do want you to do, then the people who like what you do are not gonna like you anymore. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's why you just gotta do whatever it is that is best for you. However, the main focus of this video is that what you're doing is not in vain. What you're going through in life, whatever it may be, whether it's depression or unemployment, whatever it is, man, whatever it is, it's not in vain. I'm telling you, once you can, it's all about mindfulness. Once you can open your mind up and not keep it closed in a box and say, why does this always happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? Once you can open your mind and say, what is this trying to teach me? Boom, you just opened so many doors for yourself. Just in that one question. Once you rewire your mind and put it on a different track and you say, what is this trying to teach me? What am I supposed to be learning? And then you have to take time and sit with yourself and go within and say, really though, think about everything that's going on in this turbulent period of your life. And if you're not in a turbulent period and you're watching this, who's to say another one won't come? That's life. We're going to keep learning and learning through so many experiences. And so whatever the case may be, just take time and just really think, like, limit all distractions, cut off all the music. I recommend you just sit outside, listen to the sounds of nature, and go within your own mind and say, okay, where does this all stem from? Why is everything all shaken up right now? What caused this shakeup, right? And then once you determine the root of that cause, like for example, maybe you had some toxic friends, right? And then all of a sudden your friend group is falling apart and y'all don't hang out anymore, and it seems like y'all don't have a lot in common or whatever the case may be, and you're steady trying to hold on to these friends, and yet you're unhappy and things just feel like they're going crazy in your social group. I want you to think back to the root of that and say, and get down to the bottom of this and say, okay, my friends really don't treat me that well. Okay, then what do you do after that? And you're like, okay, I keep forcing myself to try and make our friendship work. And then you go to yourself and you say, well, making it work doesn't really make me happy. And then you go to yourself and you say, well, if it's not making me happy, then why am I still dealing with it? And then you go to yourself and say, I don't want to deal with this no more. And then you say, wow, that's what this whole thing was trying to teach me. The universe, source, spirit, whatever you believe in, is trying to pull you apart and trying to get you to grow past that, because you don't fit in that box anymore. You have outgrown I don't even want to call it a box. You don't fit in that space anymore. That's not for you. It was never meant for you to stay there permanently. I've had cases, and the friendship thing is just really just thrown out there. It could relate to you, it really couldn't. But for me, I've had cases where I tried to make myself fit in with a group of people who I knew I didn't really fit in with, and I didn't feel like I could be myself with. And in time, I was just like, dog, I gotta let these people go. And then I tried to, and then I came back, and then I let them go, and then I came back, and now they're all gone. And I'm happier than I could ever be because I let go of the things that weren't in alignment with me. That's probably what the shakeup, that's just one example. Your situation could look like anything, but the key is to focus on the message in the mess. Instead of focusing on the mess, you're blocking out that whole entire world. Here's the thing. I see the word message as the whole entire process, right? But sometimes we can get so caught up in the storm that we're only focused on those first 4 letters, which is mess, and we're not seeing that the mess is actually a message. The mess is actually a message. The mess is actually a message. You cannot just... Oh my God! The easiest way I can put this, I feel like I just put it in the most easiest words possible. But the easiest way I can put this is, don't try to calm the storm because it's a storm. That's out of your control. So don't try and calm the storm. Calm yourself so you can get that clarity. Calm yourself so you can stay centered and you can stay grounded, and so you can see what's going on instead of being blown away in the wind. Yeah, don't try and calm the storm, because you're just gonna keep draining your energy trying to stop something that's meant to happen. When that storm is supposed to happen in your life, Nobody can stop that, because you're meant to gain a beautiful lesson after that. Only try and do what's in your control. What is that? Only do what you can do. Focus on what is in your control, because when you start to focus what's not in your control, you create a lack mentality. You start to say, oh man, I can't do that, I can't do that because this is going on and I don't have the resources. You create a lack mentality. You start to think, oh, I lack this, I lack that, in order to fix things. In reality, you have everything you need within. That's one thing I've been realizing the past couple of days, is that I have everything I already need within. This morning I did such a powerful meditation. I always follow a 10-minute guided meditation every single morning, and the YouTube channel is called Great Meditations. It's a really popular YouTube channel. I'm gonna link it in the description if you guys want to check them out. They have 5-minute meditations, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They have meditations to help you sleep, meditations to start your day. I don't do the morning meditations. I just do any 10-minute meditation, and that's that. But I really do recommend, because meditation is a skill that has to be built upon. When I first started meditating, I was like, dude, am I even doing a good job at this? And now it's gotten to the point where the minute I just release all my thoughts and I just really go within. Sometimes I don't even I wish I could meditate for the rest of my life and never ever have to break out of the meditative state. And that's just me personally. That's how good it really does feel. And I remember the first time that I actually successfully, in my opinion, because it's subjective, whatever you think success is, that's your personal definition. But I remember the first time that I successfully meditated, and I felt so good after that. And from then on, I just started meditating like crazy. Like ever since 2023, I've been meditating for like a whole year now, you guys. A whole entire year. And it does help. Having those moments in life, and that's what I mean by like centering yourself and calming yourself. Because having those moments, even if it's just 10 minutes out of the day, even if it's just 10 minutes, even 5, if you want to start with 5, you can do that as well. But start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. I urge anyone and everyone to meditate, because that is literally, you can find the most growth in stillness. When you're still, you can find that you're actually learning a lot. And so the more often you meditate, the more and more you can grow, the more and more you can calm yourself, the more peaceful and observant you become, the less reactive you become towards any situation thrown your way. The more you start to open your third eye and already see the bigger picture. Something could happen in life, a message, because remember, most people only focus on the mess, but a message could be brought to you. And then when you're so used to meditating, and your brain is already in that state, and your third eye is, I'm getting amped, y'all. I'm getting amped. But your third eye is already open. The minute some shit go down, you already know what's going down. You clearly see the message. The minute some shit happens, you be like, oh Lord, I know what's gonna happen. It ain't happened yet, but that's what intuition is. That's that third eye. And I don't know if you guys read the description that I put in my videos, but in every single video that I've uploaded since my very first video, I always put a quote of the day in the video. And the last quote of the day on my recent video, if you haven't watched it already, you should go check it out. The link is in the description. Yeah, the last quote of the day is that change is preceded by chaos, by Deepak Chopra. What that literally means is that preceded means to come before. And so that means chaos comes before change, because change is preceded by chaos. And chaos is really just one of those words that's like, it's all about how you view it. You know, that's also like a subjective word. Like, it's how you view it. You know what I mean? Because me, when I go through some things in life, they may, you know, be kind of crazy to go through, and the experience might not be fun, but I don't really see it as chaos. Like, the minute something happens, I'm like, okay, there's a message on the horizon. There's a lesson to be learned here. I don't really see it as chaos. It might not be the funnest of times, but I don't really see it as chaos, you guys. But the overall message of this video is that if you're going through turbulent times, if you're going through a really crazy shakeup in your life, just know that change is on the horizon. Change is on the horizon. If you're going through times where it's like, I'm really not okay. Now, I don't even want to say that, because you should always be grateful for where you are in life, because you have to understand things could always be worse. And I don't want you to focus on what could be worse. But you have to understand, you have a divine team out there, your higher self, which is the most abundant version of you, the most loving version of you, the very best version of you. You have God, you have Jesus, you have the archangels, you have your guardian angels, you have your spirit guides, you have your ancestors. That's a whole divine team working at hard to protect you from forces that you have no idea. I've been through some things in my life, right? Some really crazy things, some really scary times as well. But then I think, like, damn, if God wasn't real, shit could have been a lot worse for me. It could have been a lot worse. But I was being protected. And even though sometimes pain does happen, the pain could always be a lot worse. I ask that whatever you believe in, if you believe in something, whatever it is, man, just put your trust into that higher power that you believe in. If you don't have a belief, put that trust in yourself that you can do it, and you're gonna make it out of this victorious. I want to just give you guys like a quick little backstory before I end this video. I used to be I was actually diagnosed with severe clinical depression at the age of 15, 16. And I was in and out of the psych wards or the mental hospitals or whatever you want to call it. And I was self-harming. I had suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts and everything. And that's not me anymore. It's actually, when I see my scars, I seen them the other day and I kind of just kissed my scars. I don't know why, it just felt like I needed to do that. And at that time in my life, I wasn't believing in God. I did not believe in God. I was like,
man, God ain't real, because if God is real, then I wouldn't have gone through all that.
Now where I am today, and I can see the bigger picture from where I am, because back then I was here. Now I'm way up here. I'm off the charts. I think what I was getting at was when I decided that I did not want to feel the way I was feeling no more. When I was this close, y'all wouldn't listen, man. I was this close. Y'all wouldn't even be seeing me today if God hadn't saved me. I'ma just put it like that. I wouldn't even have seen my 18th birthday. And if you're watching this video as it just came out or within the next month, my birthday is March 29th, and I'll be turning 20 years old this year. So save the date if you haven't already. Even when I was the most depressed, even when I was telling myself I didn't want to be like this no more, change starts with a thought, and then intention, and then action. Because you can think, hey, I want things to be this way, but if you keep thinking it and you're not doing anything about it, you're just gonna be stuck that way, just stuck thinking it. You gotta take action. You gotta take inspired action. I knew I wanted to be happier, and looking back at my younger self, I'm so proud that I took action, because I get to live and I get to see another day. And after going through what I went through, I would never take life for granted ever again. I will never take another day for granted ever again. And it almost makes me emotional right now. But just thinking about how I used to be back then, it really does make me so happy. I'm so glad I listened to myself. I'm so glad that I told myself I don't want to do this. I'm so glad that I took action to bettering myself. Ever since I've had those moments in my life, I really have learned to not take the days for granted. I really do understand how valuable life is. And I will never, ever, ever take it for granted ever again. Better days are coming, and people were always telling me that when they would see the scars on my arms and everything. And they would always say, better days are coming, it'll get better. And I didn't believe them back then, but if I would have believed them back then, I definitely would have been took action.
Long time ago.
I really didn't start to truly take action for real to bettering myself until the last time that I was in the mental hospital, which was 2022. like towards the end of 22. So ever since then, I've really been working on being a better person for me and not for anybody else. I do it for me because I deserve it. But that's all that I have for this video, and I kind of went off on a little tangent, but I did pray before I started this video, and I did ask God that he guide me through the video and just allow me to say what needs to be said. And so I feel like that little message at the end of the video, I feel like this whole video, I prayed that he would allow me to get my point across in the video, and I think I did a pretty good job with this video, honestly. I asked that he allowed me to say what the people need to hear, because that's why I make these videos. And so I really truly just like to make these videos because I have the experience, and even with my experience with depression and everything, one day I might tell my story. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to, because God knows the whole thing. God was a witness, and that's all I really need, because there are gonna be people, it's like I said earlier, damned if I do, damned if I don't. There are gonna be people who believe me and people who don't believe me. But if I don't tell my story, then it's like the people who really need to hear it. And the wind is blowing, so I'm gonna take that and the bird is chirping, so I'm gonna take that as a sign that I probably should tell my story. But if I don't ever tell my story, then the people who really might need to hear it might not ever hear it, and you know, my story might just be the one that they need to hear. So one day I'll definitely make a video, and it'll be as unfiltered as possible. But that's all that I have for this video, truly, you guys. I want to say thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you are watching at the end, then thank you. If you're watching the end, if you're seeing it, okay. Yeah, you guys, if there's a couple of things I want you to take from this video, focus on the message, not the mess. Focus on the message. Never take life for granted. Truly, when you open your eyes every morning, just say thank you. Just be thankful, because you have another day to keep going and make things better. And each and every day, as long as you try, as long as you're trying, you'll get to where you want to be, because it's those small steps that you take every single day that lead up to the big moments. And I'm telling y'all the God honest truth, because I took those small steps each and every day that led me to where I am now. You are an amazing person. You are so special. You are so beautiful. You have a purpose in life. I'ma definitely send a prayer out for anyone and everyone going through some turbulent times in their life right now, and I pray that everyone can heal. I really do. I really truly do. And that is truly all that I have for this video. Until next time, bye friends.